All right, everybody. Welcome into Locker Room Sports Talk. Glad y'all come by and hang out with us today. Podcast listeners, Apple Cast, Spotify, wherever you get this podcast, we sure do appreciate it. We broke out the show with Brock Lesnar is going to be retiring. Announced it on the Pat McAfee show today, and that's kind of sporting news, I guess. He was a multi-time champ there at WWE and many times won high school championships for wrestling, won in college a lot, and also the UFC. We can't forget that. And right now we just got off the topic of Alex Golis taking his players off to a hotel in Opelika for a 2-week time to get to know them better. So there's going to be no distractions, no cats, dogs, phones, nothing, nada. Bring your players, yourself, bring you some shorts, cleats, and helmet and pads, and a lot of water, and we're going to go there and we're going to figure it out. So I'll ask if anybody had anything. I think it's good. I think it's a great idea. Does it seem, somebody's going to say, oh, it's cheesy. Well, whatever, man. It's his first year as being a head coach at a prominent football program. So I think it's a good idea. Now, we got the top 25 on the board. We're breaking it down. And does it really matter if you're ranked in that top 25? Maybe, kind of, sort of, I guess. It may have some handicap, maybe. I don't. If you just win all your games, I don't think it matters. If we used Auburn as an example, they win all their football games, and we get down towards the end of the season, they're like 8-0 or 9-0. They're going to be ranked. They'll probably be ranked up there in the top 12 or 10 or so. If they're 8-0, they get up to like 9-0 or so. They're going to be ranked up in the top 6 or 7. I would hope. I mean, if they go 9-0, they better be top 3. So just win. I think that solves everything. So we'll run through it backwards here, and I think that's why they were not 25, because Missouri is, and it's because Coach Drink has been there. He's been there for some time. He's had a successful, time there at Missouri. He's had some good recruiting classes, and he's got one of the top return, rushers in the nation and top in the SEC. So that's a good thing to have. Now, they're going to miss a few guys, but they got a new quarterback, which he ain't bad. We broke him down, a week or two ago. Me and Dean did Missouri, and I think Missouri's going to be okay. We look for them to win 7 games, maybe 8 if they, lucky on some games. So that's that. Moving on up the list, we got Houston at 24, Clemson at 23, Iowa at 22, 21 is Utah Utes. SMU is ranked too low at 20 for me. I'll go back through these and we can drag some around and change here or there. SMU at 20, then on down Washington, Tennessee 18, Penn State, and Michigan, BYU 15, USC, LSU at 13, Texas Tech, Bama, Ole Miss at 10, and Oklahoma at 9, A&M at 8, the U at 7, Indiana at 6, and Notre Dame 5, Texas, Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State 1. So, top 5, do I have a problem with any of those? I'm going to say not really. I had Notre Dame 1, and Ohio State 2, just because of the schedule. Notre Dame's schedule, they don't play anybody. Maybe Georgia did win the SEC. I don't have a problem with Georgia being ahead of Texas. It's not a big deal. Oregon's always ranked in the top 5 every year. Every year they're ranked top 5, and they never win the conference. They ain't done nothing since they're a big nothing burger. At least Texas has played for a conference championship since Sark's been. They have played for it, right? Indiana dropping to 6. That's the lowest ranking a return champ has ever been ranked, I think. What was a year or two ago when Ohio State won it. I think they come back 3 the next year. Jeff, you can tell me. So it's not uncommon for the team not to be number 1. Alabama was a lot of the times. It's usually because of retention of players that he was bringing back. So that is what it is. I had Indiana on my top 25 I did last night, some on TikTok, and I posted on the page yesterday on our Facebook page. I had Indiana around. They're not a top 12 team. They're just not. They don't have the guys at all of what they didn't have. Miami at 7. they're another we got to wait and see. A&M, Reed is a good quarterback. Me and Dean think he throws some untimely picks a lot of times. Oklahoma, they're kind of high on the list, and it's because their defense, which Bama did beat that defense in the playoffs, really handled them, pretty well. And Mateer just, I don't know, he had a good couple of games before he got hurt, but I went through the games that he played, and he did have like 1,200 yards before he got hurt, 1,100 yards, but he was playing nobodies. I mean, he didn't, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. This is just something to talk about, honestly, because we just don't know. We know what some of the guys that are coming back for some of these teams, mostly we got all the players kind of lined out. So there's that. Ole Miss at 10, sure. Alabama at 11, I guess. I had Bama at like 8 or 9 on mine. Texas Tech is absolutely loaded with lots of talent. Them and LSU, so 12 and 13 there, plenty of guys. It's all speculation to see how they're going to put all these guys together. USC is a joke. They ain't done anything, and since I don't know when, since just being in the Big Ten, he ain't even had a 10-win season yet. So whatever. I think BYU is going to be a good team. I could see swapping BYU and USC around probably. Michigan at 16, Penn State, Tennessee at 18. That could be a little high for them, man. We're going to break them down probably. We did them. I think I did them last week. Let's remember what. Yeah, we're assumed that Faison is going to be the QB1, but that's just a large assumption. Offensive line play, they do have some guys back. That is a prominent thing. Defensively, they are returning some, but I don't know. Washington, I don't know enough about them to really say. SMU, I think they're going to be good, man. I like Jennings. The conference is not tough. I could swap them in Michigan, honestly. I could swap 20 for 16. And the last row, just kind of is what it is. Dabo's down there kind of in the middle of the bottom. And Iowa, they've always got a pretty good team. They're a top 20 team usually. And Utah, got a new coach because their old guy, and of course, he's in Michigan now. And just kind of have to wait and see, I guess, how all that kind of pans out. So that's the top 25 coaches poll, which means it don't mean a whole lot, really. It don't kind of mean a whole lot. Jeff, what's up over here? What are you talking about? Polls are used to mean something, but, really don't have a whole lot of, big-time meaning. Connor Wigman still plays, at Utah. And Oregon won't be in the top 5 when Ohio State beats them in November. He may have a point there. Could be it. And the QB for TTU must be that team up north. What he's talking about, 4,000 yards and over 25 touchdowns. Yeah. The kid at Indiana too he's thrown for thousands of yards. He come from TCU. So we're going to have to see kind of how it kind of works out. Michigan is he feels like they're a little overrated. And Underwood may not be. Yeah, I've read that. I've heard other people say that. And Washington has also almost everyone returning on the offense. Well, there you go. Thank you, Jeff, for that update. So that's that for the top 25. We'll keep on creeping down the list here and look what we can go through here. Yeah. Let's talk about, let's see, where else did that go? Coaches poll, got non-conference games. These are non-conference games that they say, well, Matt, those games are scheduled years and years in advance. Well, usually 2 or 3, but in the SEC, I know that Notre Dame's coming down here. They're fixing to start, tallying around and playing Auburn and Alabama. Auburn, Alabama is going to be playing Notre Dame in the next 3-4 years. Time that'll be very interesting. Alabama and Notre Dame has played a lot of old classic football games. I'm looking forward to it. Notre Dame is maybe they're not the powerhouse they was, but with their schedule I mean, they should be a top 10 team. I don't know why they should never not be a top 10 team. You can make your own schedule. They just play a bunch of nobodies. And now you don't have to hide and pay players anymore. You can just kind of do it right out in the open. So there's that. So here's the talk of the day. I've been on Twitter. You can find me over there again at Big Matt 1977. 2 G's on there, and I just argue with people, and I do it, and I'm laughing when I'm doing it. It's funny. And I try to get people to come on the show, and I'll send them a link, and if they want to be brave enough to come on and do it, I sure enough will show them. Signetti was talking a lot of smack the other day at their media days, how they're not afraid to play anybody, blah blah blah, it's this and that. So they're a big bad Indiana, and for what it's worth, I guess if they feel like their schedule is just as hard as anybody else's, or whatever they have going on, they can get it done. They can just win all their games, and it don't matter who they play because they're the best team. Well, it's supposed to be, and I guess I'm wrong, Jeff, help me out here. I understood it that, okay, we got 9 conference games. Petiti said, he told Sankey, you will do exactly as I tell you to do, and there's no questions to be asked. I'm daddy and your son, and I'll spank you if you don't do what I tell you to. And Sankey said, okay. We're going to play non-conference games, which is now bumped up the SEC strength of schedule because, we have more ranked conference teams than the Big Ten. We've looked at it. We've been through it. Me and Birds even broke it down one night. Big Ten strength of schedule is about 40, 41, 39. The SEC's overall strength of schedule is about, last year one time it was 7. Right now, it looks like it may be about 10. Sometimes it's 11 or 12. It stays between 12 and 9, okay? That's a huge difference, and it's because the Big Ten's lower bottom teams are not as good as the SEC's medium or lower dwelling teams, just on average. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Let's put this up on the old screen. All right, Indiana, and I'm going to leave this on the big enough here where everybody can see, because you just can't see it real good. Indiana plays nobodies. This is their non-conference games for the next several years. Okay? In 2028, as we can see here, yes, this is not a joke. If you can see the screen, podcast listeners, I'm fixing to rattle it off to you. This year, they got North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky. Yes, Alabama plays Chattanooga, and they play East Carolina. But I don't know where this got mixed off from everybody else. This is what's kind of strange. SEC, we have to play. I don't guess it's the NCAA thing. Obviously, it's not. We're going to play 2 of these three non-con games like them, but one of them has to be a Power 4 team. So, like this year, Bama's playing Florida State. Okay, and I'll put up some graphics and show you some of their future games. I'll show you Auburn's, and I will look. We can even. I think Georgia's is out there too, and everybody always has 2 cupcake games. Always one, but at least 2. So, podcast listeners, I'll go through here now on 2027. This is the 2027 Indiana Hoosiers. Big Daddy Signetti. We don't run from anybody. We don't make excuses, and we don't cry. Beelum said that the SEC is stuck in 2005. 27, Indiana will be playing besides their 9 conference games, 9 in the Big Ten, and of those 9, I think about maybe 3 of them will be ranked, sometimes 2, depends on Penn State or how Michigan's going to follow out or whatever. And I think Jeff, you tell me too if I'm right, I think they ducked out on Ohio State. They're not even going to have them for a little while. They've moved stuff around to really jazz up their schedule because Signetti is a badass. They play in big bad Kennesaw State, Indiana State, and UMass. No Power 4. All right, we'll go to 2028 now. Austin Peay, which is who my alma mater, Jacksonville State and Gamecocks, Fear the Beak. They'll be playing Austin Peay. That's who we played for homecoming. Okay? All right, thank you. And then also the next week, they'll play Eastern Michigan. And then 2 weeks later, they'll play Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio. Now in 29, we'll move right along here for Big Bad Signetti, the Big Bad Booty Daddy. They'll play Ball State. Chirp, chirp. They'll play Eastern Illinois, Western Kentucky. Okay, then 2030, still no Power 4 teams. For their 3 games, they're going to play Indiana State and Delaware. Well, wait a minute. They got 2030. They got Notre Dame. And then in 2031, they'll have Notre Dame again. And in 2032, they're at UConn. They've not added the other 2 to their 31 or 32-year schedule, which we can assume by their other candy-ass teams they've picked up. It'll be an Indiana State or a Howard or maybe even Big Daddy Austin Peay. How about that? What do you guys think? Yeah, ain't that great? What a great schedule they have. So, that's Indiana. Now let's take a look at the old War Tigers up there at the University of Auburn. Okay, Auburn University. We'll stretch this thing out here where we can see it a little bit better than we used to be. These are, I think they're pretty correct. I went back through and looked at some of these and made sure they're going to have Baylor, ranked team. They're going to play their Southern Miss and Sanford. There's their other 2 little games. Then they're going to pick up and play next year. Auburn's going to start playing Notre Dame the next 2 years, 27 and 28. Their other non-con games are going to be like Georgia Southern and Middle Tennessee. And it looks like, Austin Peay's going to get a dose of Auburn for next year. Okay, I like it. 29 and 30, Auburn's going to do a home and away with Miami Hurricanes. Do you see the difference here? Here's 2 over here on the left, as you can see on your screen. If you're watching on TV at home, you can see it nice and big. Southern Miss and Sanford. I don't mind the teams. I don't mind Indiana playing a game or 2 of non-Power 4. I think those are important because it helps spread some money to Southern Misses and Middle Tennessees. I like it when these other teams get to play our local in-state teams even more. But I think you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So I like it because it's able to spread some money around to our in-state schools. I would like to see JSU be on some of those too. Now, here's Alabama. I've tried to double-check some of these and make sure what's what. And Jeff, tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think they re-signed the Ohio State game. Everybody said they put it off, but did they add it back? Because I've heard they didn't. And then later on, though, in the past week, I've heard that, the game's back on. They're going to go ahead and play it next year. So Alabama again plays Florida State this year. They got Chattanooga and Eastern Carolina. We've been through that. Well, they're going to have Ohio State and Marshall. Then they'll have another whatever team. They're going to have in 28. Bama's going to have UT Martin, Oklahoma State, and Ohio State. 2029 and 2030, Bama's going to hook up with Notre Dame, and they're going to then be that home and away with Oklahoma State. So in 2030, they're going to keep Notre Dame, and Georgia Tech is coming back to the ring. Alabama ain't played Georgia Tech since, I guess that's part of the ACC, which has been, I don't know, man, 60 years ago when they left, when the ACC all changed and whatever, whatever. So good to see Georgia Tech on there. So Alabama is playing, and from 28 on here, they're playing 2 Power 4 teams, plus they'll play a UT Martin or East Carolina or Chattanooga. They're playing 2. Do you smell what I'm stepping in here? Because I've stepped all right in the middle of it, and I'm sure that Indian fans are not happy about that. But this just, I'm showing you what's what. Not everybody's going to play. This. Sure, they're going to have times when they're not going to play. They're not going to play these teams all the time. Every non-con game, we're not going to play Ohio State and Notre Dame and then play Oklahoma State too. And there are 3 games that they get besides the 9 that they got to play in their conference, because the 9 that SEC is going to play is not the same as the 9 that's going to be played by the Big Ten. So that's non-con games and stuff. We got it rocking and rolling here. Yep, good. We're about 40 minutes in. I like it. 35, 40 minutes. I like to do an hour. That's what I like to do here for Tuesdays and Thursdays. 2-hour shows for Sundays, because we got usually covering 2 big teams, and then we have a big topic or something I like to bring up, such as the next topic. And I think this is interesting, and I'm curious everybody's thoughts. Podcast listeners, go over there on the Facebook page and give me a long answer and tell me why I'm crazy or whatever. So this is kind of the next big thing here, the old roundtable topic. Roundtable topic for today is, Jeff, we'll go back over here and see what he's done got, man. Bama plays. Roundtable topic is going to be, why is the Big Ten past the SEC? Why? I got some thoughts. Jeff says that Bama does play the Aggies, some Scott in 19, okay. We play a Power 4 teams at the beginning of the season, 27, 28, okay, Ohio State's got Alabama and Georgia for next. Okay, cool, I like it. Yeah, I'm not saying all. I just pulled Indiana's schedule to show big bad Signetti Daddy. Austin P is not a joke team anymore. They are, Jeff. They are ranked 12 in the FCS. Trust me. JSU, we play them for homecoming. They're no match. Should not be. They shouldn't even score more than 10 or 12 on Indiana, because Signetti said they're the best team that there is. They just won national championship. I mean, this is what he said. I'm just going by what he said. Applaud for the SEC rule for schedule a Power 4 non-conference game. So the Big Ten doesn't have that rule. Oh, well, I'll be damned. How convenient is that? That's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Where is it? Well, I'll be darned. Well, I was trying to pin that, Jeff. Sorry. It won't let me see here. How many wins do you have, South Carolina? Hey, what's up there, bro? I'm going to say, I had them a couple weeks ago. South Carolina, I like them to win 8. I think most people have them at 7. I think FPS is like 7.5 for South Carolina. I think they got a good shot to. It just depends on Sellers, and he's so. God, man, he can make some great plays, and then he just absolutely, he just fumbles the ball or throws it away or takes off running on like a 3rd and 6, and knowing he can't get it or tries to throw it, and then the field's wide open, and he tries to. I don't know. It's like he just, I don't know, like something in his head just goes brain dead or something for a little while. I think if everything goes right with South Carolina, I mean, everything goes right and everybody stays healthy, there's no reason they shouldn't win 8 games, to me. No reason. So I just had to look close. Can't see very good. Shank game moments. Ask about South Carolina. Appreciate you coming by. So let's see over here what we got. Okay. Yes. Okay. 10-4. All right. Still looking good. Rocking and rolling. Now, again, the old roundtable topic. Jeff, here's a little thing, and we'll kind of wrap the show with this. Why? This is only all based in my head of things I see, watch, and is it a political? You know, we don't do politics. This involved a little bit because it has to be because of they've made it political of ESPN pushing in their ideas and these agendas and what they're getting paid to say, you know. So it is evolved a little bit. So here's my idea. And I'm just curious. Please comment and agree, or I like it better if you didn't agree. I enjoy the discussion. So roundtable topic today, Big Ten, why have they slipped past the SEC? Well, first of all, let's say first things first. Who was probably one of the first teams to kind of crack through the SEC and kind of, you know, worm in to kind of get a little stick in the back? Not totally, but during the time of, you know, runs from Florida to Bama, Auburn won one, they went to another. You know, who was that team that kind of got it in there, and why were they successful? All right, I'm going to say it's Ohio State when Urban was there. He recruited the team kind of like an SEC team, and where is football won? Football is won up front, okay? Offensive, defensive line. The SEC usually had been dominating the field because the guys, especially defensive line guys, are bigger and faster. It's just the way it was. Urban brought some of that by recruiting guys from down here, from Louisianas and Floridas and Georgias, and brought them up to Ohio State. So some of that big speed got put on the field against other SEC teams, and he put together a great staff. Coach Dave, which was a GA with him at Florida, and from Urban learned through somewhat of work together with Whittingham at Utah, which is at Michigan now. So all that, you know, kind of works in itself. It's the players that he added to make Ohio State competitive against the Alabamas. Yes, that's just true. Ohio State, when Zeke and him, that team, and Shotgun Jones, that was a good team. Great football team. So that being said, that's definitely a part of it. But words from Urban Meyer saying in a podcast, you can find these comments anywhere about him. When he got there at Ohio State, just looking around, you know, the conference, Ohio State, Big Ten, Michigan, Penn State, whatever. Jeff knows this, and if you're on YouTube, you can read Jeff's comments over there because he's an older guy. He's been around, lived up that way through the 60s and 70s, and knows. Joe Paul was made fun of a lot through times in sports writing articles for a weak schedule. But their fan base is big, like Michigan, Ohio State. They do have a big fan base, but it's just, and everybody said this from people I know from up north and people that went up north and went to games and watched games up there. It's cool and it's big, but it just has a different feeling to it than it does down here because that motto of it just means more, it just has. Because up north, They have hockey. They have a lot of baseball teams. They have a lot of professional football teams. And just talking back and forth, talking junk with people on Twitter and stuff over the years and years I've been doing this, there is a lot of pro football fans up north. So I think this is where most all that what I said is all pretty much facts based on stuff from coaches like Urban Meyer to research through recruiting and that type of stuff. Now, this is where it gets into an opinion-based thing. It seems that the fans have really tally-hoed more to college football up north in the past couple of years. Now, you could say, this is the other side, because I'll give two sides. You could say one side, well, it's because the winning has brought out these fans. And that's a good point. However, I think some of this has been building for the past several years, probably 5 or 6 years. And I'll say that because I'm just noticing two different things to see when one thing starts, what happened on the other side of the fence that may have attributed to that starting. So if there's, like I said, a lot of NFL football fans up north, what attributed to those NFL fans switching over to college football? We do know that through all the BLM type stuff and examples of an agenda through Disney and social issues that were put on the field of NFL. This is not an opinion. We've seen what they printed on the field, and it takes all of us and takes us all, and we're together. And then there's taking a knee for the flag, and it's anti-American, and your front runner in your league wears Fidel Castro socks. Those type of social issues cause dialogue and people to talk. And from what we're seeing, people are just kind of over that, kind of done with it and sick of it. And we can see that through ESPN firing certain people and through certain people that are higher ups on the tree through ESPN. And I talked about this a week or two ago of who Bob Iser. Those guys have seen, even though they may be whatever, the NFL is part 10% owners of ESPN now. So I think that a lot of that social issue, baby mama drama, people were just tired of it. People don't want to see it. They don't care. If I want to know about social issues and people's injustices and, systemic whatever, I'll turn it to a news station, a news network. I don't want to turn it on ESPN. I don't want to go to ABC and turn on my favorite pro football team, whatever two it is, and there's crap written all over their helmets or their jerseys or in the end zone. Or people on the sideline making a stance. I don't care. I just want to watch the goddamn game. I don't need the commentary to explain to me how a state trooper was racist by this player being involved in this crash, and then the player went on and took his life later. Didn't come to find out the next week when all the details come out, the analyst was absolutely wrong and had to apologize. And now he lost his job and he's crying on YouTube. You can figure out what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want the algorithm to pick it up. So I think that what has attributed to some Big Ten fandom that's really bringing the fans out to the stadiums, that's equaling up to this. More fans, more talk, more social stuff, people getting on these things, talking more. It's just where we live. We live if you do, whatever channels and do that stuff I do, I try not to be too deep into it, but there's a couple hours in the day I have to spend on there to not just promote my channel, but talk to other people about these things that are going on to create talk. And then I would invite people to come over here and get in the comments, and we'll argue about it. It's fun. It's not personal at all. We're just talking football. It's not that important. It's about fourth on my list of life goals. But it's just fun, and I like to do it because I come up in a wild heretic house that was. So it's just arguing is just kind of what I like, and it's just fun. Talk football and argue, debate stuff back and forth, whatever. So anyway, that's kind of my take on it. And that don't mean it's right. And some of that stuff I said is opinion. That basically melted all down, and I can sum it up in a sentence is the fan bases up north have kind of drew away from the NFL. I think the NFL feels it. Definitely. They've lost money. ESPN's lost oodles of money. And they're trying to – ESPN's lost so much money, they had to give NFL 10% of their business, kind of like they need to borrow. I need to borrow some money. Okay, we'll let you borrow some money, but we want 10% of the business. That's true. You can see all these things that are happening. Some of those fans that's bled away from the NFL has bled to the college football up there. I think it's great. I like college football better than NFL anyway. Maybe that's just me overthinking it, and it means nothing, but more fans coming to games. You sell more tickets. You got more people on apps here talking about your team. Jazz. Now, I ain't never chatted with nobody about Indiana ever, never until the past 6 months. And now they're like, well, I've been a fan. Okay, you say that, but I don't know that. It seems like you just become a fan because they just won a national championship. Fine. So what I'm saying is it just seems like more people's come over from the pros, and they're leaning more towards college football, which brings more hype, brings more talk. They have moved so many coaches around. They're trying to keep up, and I just kind of think it has a little bit to do with NFL has fallen off. I mean, we've seen their halftime shows and how many viewers they lost, and it's just stuff you can go see for yourself. I think people are just kind of sick of the crap talk. If I want to do social issues, I got 3,000 channels on TikTok or Reels on Facebook or YouTube I can watch. People gripe about social injustices while they're living in a free country. We're all free here. No color. All the people I know are not basing their day on people of color or what people look like or even hardly what they say. Sure, they argue and people get shot and robbed and stuff, but all the crime is done by people that look like each other. In what groups? That's who's hurting each other. It ain't cross-color stuff. It's people the same color that majority, way percentage high, that kind of stuff. So all those things they talk about, it's kind of just silly to me anyway, because I just really don't care. But if you want to see that, there's a lot of places to find it. But when I turn on ESPN, god dang, in my Red Zone NFL, I don't want to see anything about a guy taking a knee, wearing some psycho dictator on his socks or shirts about only this group of people matters more. No, we don't care. That's not what we come over here to see. The WNBA is doing it right now. They lose millions and tens of millions of dollars every year. The NBA props up the girls' league. There's a coach actually said, when they said, "What do you feel about men playing in the women's sports?" "I'm not educated on that matter." "What do you mean you're not educated enough? You either got one hanging down or you don't. What more education do you need? I figured that out when I was 5. What are we doing? They're making it worse. This already sucks. And the one couple of players has brought attention to it, and they've made money. Everybody's made money on this particular player. They're trying to run her off, and she's soft, and she can't take it because she come up in her little bubble where she lived out there in Indiana, in her little high school and college, and she didn't go out and play, and she won't give it back. She won't fight back with it and fuss, and not fuss and mouth, but elbow back, push back, knee back. It'll stop. That's how you fix bullies. So that's the example. All that kind of crap, people don't want to see it, don't care. God dang, I'm sick of it. We're tired of it. We turn on ESPN. Yes, all right, we get our chips in. We got our dip over there and put a Rotel in there. Boy, we got some wings going and we're eating our chips. Watch football. All right, kickoffs in 1 minute. Got a commercial. Well, I'll tell you what the problem is. This white people, he's trying to kill this, or what? I've turned it on to watch football. Okay, well, please not. Why does it say it takes all of us? No crap. We already know that, idiot. We don't need to know. Of course, everybody matters and all. We already know that. I think that the NFL has lost some fan base, and it's really helped college football up north. And that's my 2 cents, and it's worth absolutely about that much, about 2 cents. So that's all I got for today. Thank you guys and gals for coming by and hanging out with me here on the page. Make sure you hit the thumbs up before you left off the page, and we'll catch you probably again Thursday night. And we'll have some more news, see how camp goes. May get some news out of some camps. And gosh knows what else may be happening. So we'll catch you guys then. We appreciate it, and we love you, and y'all have a great day. God bless you.